You're not the first to walk these lands. Long before skyscrapers, before cities, before even pyramids, people stood here, and what they saw was not deer, not bison, not even wolves. They saw elephants with spiral tusks, bears taller than houses, cats with swords for teeth, because when the first Native Americans stepped into the Americas, they stepped into a land of monsters. They found monsters. Chapter 1. The Arrival and the Shock. Archaeological evidence suggests humans first arrived in the Americas at least 15,000 years ago, possibly even earlier. Whether they came across the Bering Land Bridge or hugged the Pacific coast in boats, one thing is certain. They stepped into a world that had never seen humans before. And what greeted them was a roster of megafauna that today sounds like it came from a fantasy novel. Giant ground sloths the size of cars, sabertooth cats with dagger-like fangs, towering birds with hooked beaks, and that was just the start. Chapter 2. The Beasts of the Ice Age. Let's break down what these early people would have actually seen. These aren't myths. These are real, scientifically verified animals that coexisted with the first Native Americans. 1. Mammoths and mastodons. Not one, but two elephant-like giants roamed the continent. The Columbian mammoth stood over 4 meters tall and weighed up to 10 tons. Meanwhile, the American mastodon was stockier, more forest-adapted, and had tusks built for shoving and skewering. Imagine facing off with one of these animals with nothing but spears. 2. Giant ground sloths, Megatherium and Erematherium. These weren't your tree-hugging lazy sloths of today. These beasts stood up to 6 meters tall, 20 feet, when rearing on their hind legs and had claws the size of kitchen knives. Some fossils suggest they may have been at least partially carnivorous or omnivorous. That's right, sloths that might have eaten meat. 3. Short-faced bear, Arctodus simus, arguably the most terrifying predator of Ice Age America. Standing up to 12 feet tall when upright, this bear could run at 40 miles per hour and was built more like a predator than a scavenger. With long legs and an elevated snout, it could tower over any human. Early Native Americans would have had to be very careful when traveling open ground. 4. Sabertooth cats, Smilodon fatalis. Smilodon is often romanticized as a noble predator, but up close, it was a nightmare. Weighing up to 400 kilograms, 880 pounds, it had incredibly powerful forelimbs and 28 centimeters, 11-inch saber teeth designed not for chasing, but for ambush. It didn't run you down. It waited. 5. American lions, Panthera atrox. Even larger than the African lions of today, the American lion may have weighed up to 500 kilograms, 1,100 pounds. It hunted in packs, roamed widely, and possibly competed with humans for large prey. To see one was a death sentence. To see a group, you wouldn't be seeing anything much longer. Chapter 3. Feathered hell, giant birds. You thought birds were safe? Think again. Enter Titanus walleri, the American terror bird. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, 8 feet, this flightless predator had a massive beak designed for crushing bone and tearing flesh. It likely chased prey down like a feathered raptor and delivered death with a single blow to the head or neck. And it wasn't alone. Other large predatory birds existed in South America and may have migrated north, including giant caracaras and enormous vultures that would have made today's condors look like pigeons. Chapter 4. Aquatic monsters. Even the waters weren't safe. Freshwater systems and coastal waters hosted castaroids, giant beavers, up to 2.5 meters long, 8 feet, capable of reshaping riverbanks, possibly even aggressive if threatened, alligatoroids, and prehistoric crocodiles lurking beneath the surface of southern rivers. Pleistocene sea life, including massive sharks like Carcharical's megalodon remnants and prehistoric seals and sea lions nearly double the size of today's. Fishing wasn't always a piece peaceful act. Chapter 5. The Hunt. So how did early Native Americans survive in a land like this? By being strategic, smart, and incredibly brave. Clovis points, razor-sharp, fluted stone spearheads, appear across North America around 13,000 years ago. These were the high-tech weapons of their day, designed to penetrate thick hides and drop large animals fast. Hunting wasn't always direct. Evidence from kill sites suggests tactics like stampeding mammoths off cliffs or ambushing in teams. These weren't reckless attacks. They were planned operations. It was dangerous work, but the payoff was immense. Meat, hide, bones for tools. A single mammoth could feed a community for weeks. Chapter 6. Encounters written in stone. Cave and rock art from Native American cultures hints at interactions with these extinct giants. In Utah, Nevada, and other regions, petroglyphs appear to show mammoths, mastodons, and other large beasts long after they supposedly went extinct. Some show human figures confronting animals with spears. Others depict strange creatures with tusks and massive size, possibly artistic memories passed down over generations. Even oral traditions among Native American tribes tell of giant beasts, monstrous bears, and birds so large they could block out the sun. Could these be cultural memories of real Ice Age animals? Many anthropologists believe so. Chapter 7. The Mystery of the Megafauna Extinction. By around 10,000 years ago, most of these giants were gone. The mammoths, the sabertooths, the terror birds. So what happened? There are three main theories. 1. Overkill. Hypothesis. Humans hunted them to extinction. 2. Climate change. The end of the Ice Age shifted ecosystems, making survival harder. 3. Hyperdisease. New pathogens introduced by humans or migrating animals may have spread quickly. Most likely, a combination of all three. As human populations grew and climates warmed, ecosystems changed. Large animals, already living on the edge, couldn't adapt fast enough. But make no mistake, these weren't long extinct distant species. These were animals the first Americans saw with their own eyes. Chapter 8. Could they come back? With advances in genetics and cloning, scientists are now discussing the possibility of de-extincting some Ice Age animals. Mammoths are the main focus, but other species like ground sloths or saber-toothed cats have been suggested. Would they survive in today's world? Could we recreate the conditions they need? It's a fascinating idea, but for now, these creatures remain echoes in stone, bone, and memory. Conclusion. Ghosts on the plains. The first Native Americans didn't walk into an untouched paradise. They walked into an ecosystem shaped by giants. They survived in the shadows of creatures we now call legends. They hunted monsters, and they won. Some of those stories still live in the myths, carvings, and dreams of their descendants. Don't forget to subscribe for more prehistoric stories rooted in real science. To meet the next Jurassic Zoo nightmare, click here.